Welcome to our Sports Pad, your half-hour weekly look at Sooner sports from our perspective. I'm Josh Kopelman.
And I'm Kevin Kues.
Coming up on Sports Pad, Oklahoma scores big off the field on football signing day.
And women's basketball looks to continue their win streak.
Hello, welcome to our Sports Pad. I'm Josh Kopelman. He's Kevin Kues. Kevin, your shirt's a little blue. How are you feeling today?
Well, Josh, don't let the color of my shirt fool you. I'm actually feeling pretty pink. And it's not because Valentine's Day is tomorrow, but because of Oklahoma women's basketball dedication to fighting cancer as they host UConn at the Lloyd Noble Center. You're looking at the Lloyd Noble Center as Sherry Cole and the Sooners prepare to take on number 3 UConn for the 6th annual Pack the Place Pink tonight. And you can watch the game tonight at 8 on ESPN2. And speaking of the women's basketball game, Joanna McFarland made her return Saturday to the Lloyd Noble Center after breaking her jaw in a Bedlam loss on January to take on the Missouri Tigers. McFarland goes right to work getting the pass here and sinking a 3 from Morgan Hook. Hook later was going to drive in. She's going to get fouled, and she made it and won. And then at the end of the first, Harden beats the buzzer with a jumper. But in the second, Mizzou closes the gap, but Hook gets the block, and the Sooners need one more stop, and freshman Kay Williams comes through with a block. Sooners win 64-60.
Things were not as good on the men's side of the court as OU fell 65-47 to Texas Tech in Lubbock. It was the Red Raiders' first conference victory of the season. Andrew Fitzgerald was the only Sooner to score double-digit points. And Tuesday night wasn't much better for Lon Kruger's squad at home against 4th-ranked Missouri. Second half, 55-50 Missouri up. C.J. Washington grabs a board, kicks it out to Sam Grooms. Knocks down a 3. It's a 2-point game. Flash forward, 2.4 to go. Romero Osby shooting a free throw. OU down by 3, so they need a 3 to tie. Pledger has a chance. He celebrates like he made it, but it hits off the rim. No good. Sooners lose 71-68. Sam Grooms did have a double-double, though, with 17 points and 10 assists. The Sooners host Texas tomorrow at the Lloyd Noble Center at 7 before traveling to Iowa State on Saturday. And coming up on Sports Pad, we'll have a look back at signing day.
And men's tennis hits the court. As we head to break, let's have a look at a Sooner football signee.
We invite in singing the Oklahoma State song.
This week, the OU women's tennis squad lost its 3rd straight road match, while the men's team won its 3rd in a row. The Sooners had a slow start in doubles, but came back to win all 3 matches in a tiebreaker. OU breezed through singles play with the help of a sweeping win by Costin Pavel, taking the match 6-1. This weekend, the women's team takes on Iowa and TCU.
The #1 men's gymnastic team took home its 8th win of the season in Berkeley, California, defeating number 7 Cal and number 5 Stanford in the process. The Sooners totaled up a whopping 351 points, while Cal finished with 349 and Stanford with 343. Jake Dalton took home the floor event title for the Sooners as well. The Sooners' next bout is February 25th, home against Iowa.
Oklahoma track and field tallied 14 collegiate bests this weekend in Fayetteville, Arkansas at the Tyson Invitational, but no Sooner did better than senior George Alex, who became the first Sooner in track and field history to break the 4-minute mile. Alex finished 2nd in the race, finishing at a time of 3 minutes, 58 seconds and 76 milliseconds. Not far behind him were 2 other Sooners who also broke the 4-minute mile, junior Freezar Legacy and senior Eric Harrison. Alex's mile time is the fastest in the Big 12 this season.
The women's gymnastic team was in Oklahoma City this weekend for the perfect 10 against Iowa State and Southeast Missouri State. The Lady Sooners came out on top, beating both teams in all 4 events. Junior gymnast Kayla Novak talked about the opportunity to compete in Oklahoma City.
We're just really excited to be able to get the opportunity to compete on a podium. So, I mean, we're just kind of, take it as an opportunity and, hopefully hit it there.
The women will compete again this Friday at Missouri. The 12th ranked Sooner wrestling team had mixed results at the NWCA Cliff Keen National Duels on Sunday. The Sooners took down American 35-12, but fell 21-18 to Illinois. The Sooners dominated the scoreboard against American with 39 takedowns, but could not get a single pin on Illinois. Next up, the Sooners have a Bedlam showdown in Norman Thursday in McCaslin Fieldhouse.
The preseason number 6 Oklahoma softball team closes out their opening weekend at the Sportco Kickoff Classic with a perfect record. The Sooners take home 5 wins, including 3 shutouts, while outscoring their opponents 40-3. The team will meet their first-ranked opponent this weekend when they take on number 23 Georgia Tech and number 2 Alabama. And stick around, we'll be talking to Sooner gymnast Megan Ferguson.
Plus, we'll have a look back at the Sooner football season and signing day. Touchdown performance in a 47-14 win over Tulsa. Whaley led the Sooners in rushing with 627 yards in only 7. On signing day, Oklahoma signed 25 new recruits as the Sooners look to improve upon last year when OU started as the top-ranked team in the country but could not live up to the hype. Before we get to the new Sooners, here's a look back at the 2011 season. Sooner fans were thinking big, and OU started off the season with a bang thanks to walk-on running back Dominique Whaley in his 4-touchdown performance in a 47-14 win over Tulsa. Whaley led the Sooners in rushing with 627 yards in only 7 games. A trip to Doak Campbell Stadium for a top-5 showdown with Florida State seemed to confirm that the Sooners were for real. Kenny Stills' fourth-quarter touchdown catch gave the Sooners a lead they never lost and led to a 23-13 victory. Wins over Missouri and Ball State set the stage for a top-10 Red River rivalry game against Texas that the Sooners were more than ready for as OU trounced Texas 55-17. Ryan Broyles tied the Big 12 all-time touchdown record in the victory, a record he now has all to himself after this touchdown catch in the following game, a 47-17 drubbing of Kansas. The senior wideout says he has help all around him.
It's a great feeling, you know. Been blessed to be around great quarterbacks, offense coordinators as well, great teammates. So it's not just me. I just do my job, get open, and catch the ball.
At 6-0, Broyles and the Sooners seem to be having a perfect season. But perfection hit a detour when they met a rain delay and a 29-point underdog at home, where OU hadn't lost since 2005. But Texas Tech torched the Sooners' defense, and a 39 home game winning streak was no more, as the Red Raiders claimed a 41-38 victory.
They came out and they flat out beat us, man. You know, it wasn't nothing special they was doing. You know, it was zone read, you know, passes here, they get to do the screens and, you know, stuff like that. But it wasn't nothing special they was doing, you know, to beat us.
Injuries then began to pile up as leading rusher Dominique Whaley had to watch on the sideline as the Sooners destroyed Kansas State 58-17. Whaley fractured his ankle on the game's first play, but Landry Jones set the school record for passing with 505 yards and added 5 TDs. And Bob Stoops introduced a new offensive package, the Belldozer. The very next week, it was another key player down for the season as leading wide receiver Ryan Broyles tore his ACL in a 41-25 victory over Texas A&M. A bruised Oklahoma squad had a bye week before getting Robert Griffin III and Baylor. The Heisman Trophy winning quarterback dashed OU's slim national title hopes by completing a touchdown pass with 8 seconds left for a 45-38 Bears win. Oklahoma responded by winning its Thanksgiving weekend game over Iowa State 26-6, setting the stage for Bedlam. The winner of the rivalry game in Stillwater would be Big 12 champions. Oklahoma State dominated from start to finish, demolishing its rival 44-10 to claim the Big 12 title and send Oklahoma to the Insight Bowl against Iowa. The Belldozer formation was the story of the game as Blake Bell scored 3 touchdowns and was named offensive MVP as Oklahoma claimed its 3rd straight bowl win, 31-14.
They did an excellent job, so I'm proud of them to be here, winning our 10th game, finishing the season this way for some of the seniors to leave on a, with their 3rd straight bowl win, and then that gives, and they kind of present then the team coming back with some momentum.
Momentum that the Sooners hope will carry them into next season. Spring practice begins March 3rd, and the spring game is April 14th. We'll have a look at how signing day went for the Sooners later in the show.
Coming up, OSP's Matthew Fresquez sits down with gymnast Megan Ferguson.
Plus, the Oklahoma City Thunder listen to the sweet sounds of the Utah Jazz.
Welcome back to Our Sports Pad. Women's gymnastics superstar Megan Ferguson is joining us in the studio with Our Sports Pad's Matthew Fresquez is here to talk to her.
Thanks, guys. Megan, thank you so much for being here. Now, coming out of Blue Valley High School in Kansas, you were getting a lot of offers. We're talking Stanford, Missouri, Arkansas, top 25 schools. What made you choose Oklahoma?
You know, I was just very lucky to have so many offers out there on the table, and the coaching staff, especially for me, was very important, and a lot of the academic things that OU has to offer, and the girls on the team were just perfect fit for me.
Definitely. Now, your coach seems to have a lot of confidence in you. Coming out as a freshman, coming into OU, you kind of had a record of not having the best uneven bars routines, yet now you are looking at a three-time All-American, first team last year in the uneven bars. What has made such a dominant performance in the uneven bars for you?
Upon my arrival here at OU, all of the coaches, just kind of took me almost back to the beginning on bars and, taught me everything I know now, and they really helped build my confidence, and it's really helps throughout the years.
Now, a week ago, you guys go into Fayetteville, #2 Arkansas, and you beat them. What kind of confidence does that give you, not only for yourself, but for the team going into the rest of the season?
It was excellent. It was a great experience for us, coming off of a home loss just 2 days before. It was a really big rebound for us, and it was something that we really needed to rally together and do.
And that's interesting. How big is home arena, home court advantage in gymnastics?
Oh, it's amazing, especially the crowd. Having your home crowd and fans that are cheering for you really helps make a big difference, and it makes it a lot of fun to compete.
Now, last Friday, you guys beat Iowa State, and SEMO in the Perfect 10 Challenge. This was the first opportunity you guys had, and the only opportunity before postseason, to compete on the podium. Explain what the podium is and just how important that is to the team.
It was a really good opportunity for us. A lot of teams don't experience podium in a competition until nationals, so it was really good for us. Podium is, it's kind of it's built up on wood instead of your equipment being on solid concrete, so it really creates a different, the equipment being different for you to, tumble on and do everything on, and it kind of makes it springier.
Definitely. Now, Friday, you face #16 Missouri. You're also going to have to face #6 Alabama, #7 UCLA, #11 Ohio State. Does the season start to wear on you facing such good competition?
We have an excellent schedule this year, and we're just all really looking forward to having some big competition, big names to go against, because it's a true test of what's going to come in the end.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck in Missouri, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Back to you guys over at the table.
OKC Thunder guard Russell Westbrook was named Western Conference Player of the Week on Monday. Westbrook helped lead the Thunder to a 3-1 record this week, averaging 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in the process. Westbrook scored 28 points or more in all 4 of his games and connected on a career-high 15 field goals in the Thunder's only loss during the week. The Thunder play Utah tomorrow right here in OKC.
Let's look at Oklahoma's favorite son out in LA. It's Chris Paul and the Clippers, along with Blake Griffin, taking on the well, there's Blake Griffin with a dunk after blinding that back pass. That's the Bobcats they're playing. Let's see that one more time. Clippers win this one big, 118 one more time. There's no snowpocalypse. There's a Blake
watch out for the Blake apocalypse.
That's right. Clippers win big, 118 to.
We're going to take a quick break now, but when we get back, we'll have a closer look at OU's new signing class.
More than anything, we answered all of our needs.
Bob Stoops has 25 new Sooner football players after signing day. The class consists of 1 5-star recruit, Trey Matuire, 8 4-star recruits, and 16 3-star recruits.
Both Rivals and Scout rank Oklahoma's class as 10th best. Coach Bob Stoops talked about the recruits.
More than anything, we answered all of our needs. We came into this recruiting season and knew where most of our shortcomings and most of the, we would have to sign more offensive players and defensive players. That was where the biggest need was.
6 players from the class are already on campus: Cass Everett, Brandon Green, Taylor McNamara, Trey Matuire, and Chaz Nelson and Jordan Wade. These players have an advantage over the other recruits because they will participate in spring ball.
2 tight ends, you know, a corner, a wide receiver, a DB, and a D lineman, you know, guys that really will make a big impact in the spring. So that's a positive, getting them in here early.
3 of the players enrolled early are junior college transfers, and a total of 6 players after playing JUCO ball. OU had several transfers after the season, so the Sooners felt the need to recruit at junior colleges.
We always kind of have it in our mind, you know, who are the better ones at the position, you know, to be ready to at some point to go target them.
As we mentioned earlier, Oklahoma's class is ranked 10th by Scout.com. Here's a look at the top of the rankings. The rival Texas Longhorns have the #1 class. Defending champion Alabama is 2nd. Ohio State is 3rd with Michigan at 4 and Florida at #5.
Stanford is losing Andrew Luck, but has a strong recruiting class at #6. 7th is LSU, followed by Miami at 8, Auburn at 9, and there's the Sooners at #10.
And joining us is Matthew Fresquez. We're going to talk a little bit more about signing day. You know, guys, something we didn't mention, it was pretty heavy on wide receivers, and that was a big area for the Sooners. They also got some pretty good recruits at wide receivers. What were your takes on that?
Well, they welcome 5-star recruit Trey McTwire, who was supposed to be in last season, took a break, and he's now on this season. You had Sterling Shepard, legacy Sooner player, and Duron Neal, kind of a late commitment, and another 4-star guy. So you add all those guys in together, and I think it's a pretty strong, if not the strongest, recruiting class receiver-wise Bob Stoops has had.
Well, and you're already adding all these wide receiver recruits in with the Kenny Stills, in with the Reynolds. You're adding it with an already pretty solid wide receiver class anyways. And, I mean, you can't say enough about Trey McTwire, a 5-star recruit. He's going to come in, he's going to make a huge difference.
Will he be a #1 receiver? Because obviously that's something the Sooners probably looking for now that Broyles is gone, and Kenny Stills really didn't step up in Broyles' absence in that. Do you think one of these guys could be?
I think Trey McTwire definitely can. Sterling Shepard, a lot of people are already comparing him to Ryan Broyles. If we could be lucky enough to get another Ryan Broyles, I don't know if we will be, but someone's going to have to step up because I was a little disappointed with Kenny Stills this last season.
Yeah, McTwire, you know, he's 6'2", he's a big guy. Look at him to come to play sort of like Malcolm Kelly used to play. Put him on the outside and let him make big plays. That's what he's there for.
Yeah, McTwire definitely big-time recruit. A lot of high expectations for him. Now, a lot of these guys, McTwire is coming, actually signed last year with OU. Is forced to come in with this year's class due to academic reasons. So a lot of these guys have already played junior college ball as well. How much of an advantage do you think that is? Or would you rather have a guy straight from high school? I mean, what's your take on it?
Well, you look at a player like Chaz Nelson at the defensive line. He had offers to play at Iowa State coming out of high school, chose to go play 1 year JUCO ball. His coaches talked him into coming another year, and now he gets to play at Oklahoma. That can only benefit a player. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster, and he has an advantage right away. I mean, you're high school, you're 18, he's 20, he comes in, he's way more mature than the other students.
Well, and there's also a huge change from the high school game to the college game. Stuff just gets faster, and when you're coming from a high school to a #1, you know, top 10 team year in, year out, these guys are faster, they're stronger, so if you can go to JUCO, get that step up from high school, then go into a college, a university like Oklahoma, it's only going to benefit you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, on OU's side of the ball now, more offensively, they got more offensive players in defense. Is that kind of odd considering defense is really what they needed more of?
Yeah, defense kind of fell through a little bit once we got rid of Venables. Luckily, Mike Stoops brought in a lot of other recruits for us. And sometimes that's how recruiting goes. But if you look at our offense, we're always going to use receivers. We're always going to need receivers. And so we go at what we need, receivers, and we're always going to need them. And defense, we'll be all right in defense, and we always got next year's recruiting class.
Yeah, the Sooners were really depleted on the offensive side. Receiver core was obviously a big problem after Broyles went out. Tight ends, we had none. They had to sign 3 tight ends. So it was kind of more of a need, a necessity, to sign offensive players more than defensive players.
Yeah, look, quickly, let's go move over on the basketball court in the NBA. How about the Oklahoma City Thunder? They look like they might have the 1 seed wrapped up.
You know, they are for real. They are there to play. I was a little weary when they signed Russell Westbrook to the big contract they did, but I think that he can coexist with Kevin Durant, and I think they can make something happen this year. Probably the best team in the West now that Chauncey Billups is out of the Clippers.
I mean, there's something to be said when every major player on your team is under 26 years of age. They're the youngest team, they have the freshest legs, and they have the best chance of making a deep run.
And probably the best team in the West as of right now.
Turnovers hurt them. They have the most turnovers in the NBA, but if they can fix that problem, they're guaranteed to have a deep run again.
Do you guys think, real quick, who's the best team in the NBA right now?
It's got to be Thunder. It's got to be the Thunder right now.
We got to go with Miami
Thunder?
Heat.
I would agree with you. I'd say Heat. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight.
You can watch our show next Monday on OU TV, same time, same place. I'm Kevin Kues. He's Josh Koppelman. And on behalf of our entire student team here on our Sports Pad, good night.